Hi guys, welcome to another episode of my YouTube video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at the mixture of color in light. Normally, we all know that if you examine the way color light combine using beam from three projectors, the way they normally use it most of the textbooks, they will use three projectors. Usually, this particular experiment usually takes place in a dark room. Each projector will now has a filter. The three filter that we are going to have is the red, green, and the blue. So now, if you now want to know how to find the color mixing or how you can determine it without even cram all the entire sentences or the entire words that are inside your textbook, it is better for you to memorize this chart. So it's very easier. So now, for example, now this red color now, let's say we have a sunlight. Let's say this is sunlight like this. The ray of light will be coming here from this place, so it can hit any of this direction. It can hit this edge, it can hit this place middle here, this one and this one here. It can hit any point. Like for example, now let me use red apple as an example. Red apple looks red in ordinary daylight. The reason that is that it is can contain the pigment. That pigment red, because the skin contain that pigment red, so it can absorb the other colors, but it will reflect that particular green color. Now let's see now, if you have this is a red color here now, if a sunlight to strike this particular point here now, it will only reflect the red color, because as the ray of light incidents on this point, it will reflect it back, so it will only reflect red color. Let me show you a normal thing, a table. Let's say I have the sunlight like this. Let's say we have sunlight reflect, and let's say absorbed here. Let me underline it. So so the red color, let's say the red sunlight here, if the red sunlight should strike this place, so if the red light should strike this particular point, so it will only reflect red back. So we are going to have red here, because if you see the point, you only have a tiny point here. That's the normally call it an edge. This edge here, if the light, like red color, if you strike this bit, you only reflect the red color, so it will only reflect this. So if the same thing will happen to green color, this edge also, if light to strike this point, it will only reflect green as well. So the same thing will happen to blue, it will only reflect blue color. But what if the sunlight now strike this point where we have yellow color here? If the red light should strike it, you are going to produce red and the green. You are going to produce red and green, because it will reflect to this side. Also, it also reflect to this side, so it will produce red and green. It will give back to red and green. So the same thing if happen to the magenta also. So for the magenta, if you notice that it will reflect both the red and the blue. So it will reflect red and blue. So the cyan also, we also the cyan will also reflect the green and blue, green and blue. Now, when it's now come to absorb, they will now absorb the any other component that is not present in them. Like now, the red color now, we have three primary color. We have red, we have green, and we also have blue. So all these entire three color, when they mix together, it will result into this white color. It will result into this white color. If red, green, and blue, if they should mix together, they will result into this white color. So now, if red now reflects red, so it will now absorb green color, and to absorb green and blue, So this green we absorb red and blue. So this one green and blue, I mean green and red, like the component that is not present in them. So yellow will be blue and sometimes violet also. This one will be red. I mean this one will be green, sorry, and this one is going to be red. So this is how you can determine the spectrum of light when it's happening during the time when we, let's say, the electromagnetic spectrum, or maybe like dispersion of dispersion of light and color. So now come to the end of my today's class. So if you're enjoying it, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.